Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get this. Like, share, subscribe to y'all, let's get it. Let's go. Man, that jump was crazy. That jump was crazy, man. Old school say, man, young boy owe him apology at the count, man. I said, old school. I said, man, look, this was the last thing I said I was gonna say because there was just too much talk about this, man. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking it was nothing. My word, like, I didn't think that warrants nothing, no fighting, no squashing, no nothing, man. I was like, yo, old school, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I said, man, one thing about it, man, I said, dudes don't be liking when nobody make the pod hot, man. So I said, man, just chill though, old school. I'm telling you, it ain't nothing that serious, man. Just let that junk go, man. Young boy ain't mean nothing, man. He said, man, he told me just go head on, man. He told me just go ahead on, man. He said, those fighting words, Weezer, man. I said, man, those are not fighting words, though, old school. I said, they are not fighting words. I said, how they fighting words? By just telling you to go ahead on, man. I said, he basically was just like, man, go ahead, man. I ain't trying to hear no more of that, man. Basically, man, he said, man, he can't shun me off, man. Yeah, how you just gonna shun me off like that, Weezer? Yeah, he got up. He was like, man, no, man, forget that, man. I'm about to go see what's happening, man. When count clear, I'm gonna see what's happening, man. I was like, you gonna see what's happening? He's like, I'm gonna see what's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna see what's happening at the count. I'm like, shh. I sat down in my bed. I was like, man, so you really gonna pull up on the dude? I said, you don't do it on the blue team. He said, blue team? I don't care about no blue team, red team, green team, yellow team, pink team. I said, pink team, old school? I don't care about none of them teams. I'm letting you know now, I don't care about none of them. I don't care about none of that, man. In the mountains, everybody equal, man. I don't care. I said, so you saying there ain't no members up there in the mountains, man, red and the blue team? He said, yeah, they up there. Yeah, they up there, but they respect everybody, man. These dudes here ain't got no respect, man. Yeah, I said, look, calm down. I said, because look, you getting loud. I said, you know the people next door like, hey, man. I started talking like that. He was like, man, I ain't biting my tongue for nothing, Weezer, man. Yeah, I said, man, calm down, old school, man. He was like, he sat down. He was like, man. I said, man, calm down, man, because if you pull up on that young boy like that, I said, you're going to get the rumbling, old school. He was like, man, look, I don't care nothing about that, man. I don't care nothing about that, man. I was like, man, look, man. I said, so you just basically you feel like getting into some stuff right now. And that's basically just, he was like, man, look. Just leave me alone, Weezer, man. I appreciate it, man. That's how he told me to stop talking to him. That John sounded super maniac polite. He was like, man, just leave me alone, Weezer, man. I appreciate it, man. I was like, why? I left him alone, y'all. So boom. So we ain't say nothing to each other no more at count time. But the whole time at count time, I'm just thinking like, man, what is he doing, man? Like, this is crazy. But I'm started thinking like, yo, maybe this is a good idea. He's about to behave like a buffoon, because if he does, he's going to go to the hole more than likely, man. He won't be my roommate no more, and I'll have to get somebody else, man. So like, you know what? That wasn't really looking like it was a bad idea at the moment. I'm not even gonna lie, man. So like, I just like, however it plays out, it plays out. One thing for sure, two things for certain, y'all. Fill the blank. I don't have nothing to do with it. Y'all already know that, man. I don't have nothing to do with it, man. I don't have nothing to do with it, man. My name Bennett, and I ain't in it. I try to talk him out of it. He might be, you know what I mean, barking up the wrong tree. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, I don't know how tough he is. Like, he from back in the day. And I know that he got reputation and all that. He been in the mountains and all that. But, you know, I don't know what's going on now. You know what I mean? So, I'm done with it. So, we stay in the jump. Count clear. Count clear. We all come back out. So, I watch him. When count clear, he come out. He stood in front of the door. He just stand in front of the door. Look like he just kind of like sizing dude up. Dude on the top tier. You know what I mean? So, I step out. I walk over to my homeboy. I say, look, man. I said, I don't know what's going on. I said, you might want to put your jack up, man. He was like, what? I said, man, because, man. I said, I don't know what my celly got going on. I said, my celly, man, I think he about to pull up on dude from the blue team, man. Little young boy, man. A little tall young boy, man. He was like, for what? They about to beef? I was like, nah, I don't know. They beefing. I said, they just had a disagreement at the TV, bro. He said, about what? I said, I don't even feel like talking about it, bro. He said, nah, what happened, Weezy? I was like, man, these people were arguing about how long Dog the Bounty Hunter hair is, man. He was like, what? I said, no, not really how long his hair was. I mean, if his hair is real or not, man. He was like, if his hair real or not. I said, bro, it was one of the dumbest arguments ever, bro. I said, but the young boy kind of, you know what I mean? I was about to say his word. The young boy shunned him off. The young boy sent him on his way. You know what I mean? I said, I don't feel some type of way. He was like, bro, what? I said, man, I don't know. I said, but he about to pull up on him, so tighten up. That's all I'm coming to tell you. So he be like, all right. So I was like, I'm going to stay up here with you on the top tier, because I wasn't on the top tier around this time. I'm on the bottom tier. So I'm like, I'm going to hang up here with you if I can get the, you know what I mean, bird's eye view of this action. So he's still standing by our door looking serious. He like, young boys ain't paying him no mind. So I guess he was just waiting for the CO to come do a round. He was like, CO came through, did a round, left out, went to 42 part. He was like, he started walking towards the young boy. I'm like, oh, my homeboy said he going over there. I was like, look like it. I mean, went over there. He was like, just watching the jump. So he walked over there where they was at. So he pulled up on the young boy. I don't know what he said to the young boy. I couldn't hear it. You know what I mean? But the young boy was like, then the young boy backed up like to give him his ear, because it looked like, I guess my roommate pulled up on him, was like, hey, let me holler at you right quick. So the young boy was like, so the young boy back up. Like, the young boy ain't really facing him. You know what I mean? Like, my roommate is jive facing this direction. You know what I mean? But like, the young boy taller than my roommate. My roommate ain't short, but my young boy back up and was kind of like, and then my roommate was like, young boy was like, man, look, man, come on, man. I ain't got time for that old school, man. Look, man, I don't got time for you, man, if you sensitive, man. I don't got time for that, man. Old school was like, man, look, I ain't trying to hear that, man. Apologize how you talk to me in front of the whole pod, man. You can't talk to me like that in front of the whole pod. Young boy was like, man, look, man, I ain't trying to hear that jump, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man. I ain't trying to hear that jump, man. He was like, man, look, so what it is, like, what y'all gonna bank me or something? What y'all gonna bank me? So I hear him say that, I'm like, so that's what made the other dudes turn around, which was this other couple of homeboys, which was on the blue team. They turned around like, what do you talk about? What you talk about, old school? He was like, man, I ain't scared of none of y'all. I ain't scared of none of y'all. One thing about it, I ain't scared. It was like, we ain't scared of you. What you? He was like, man, look, one thing about it, y'all better take me out. If y'all gonna bank me, y'all better take me out. I'm telling y'all, y'all better take me out. That's all I'm gonna say. You better take me out. I'm looking at him like, man, this man is like doing all of this loud talking, loud arguing. Like, I didn't even know this was in his DNA. He's supposed to be somebody from the mountains. He's supposed to be somebody them young boys taking notes from, y'all. So boom. I don't know what he was doing, man. Either way, it wasn't looking good. And my homeboys, we just looking on the top tail like, man, what is old school doing, man? Like, he just, so they like, look, man, we ain't trying to hear all that, man. Look, you got a problem with our homie, man. You got a problem with our homie. You got a problem with us. Straight like that. He was like, yeah, that's all I know. I already know y'all was going to try to bank me. I already know that's what y'all was going to try to do. That's what y'all was going to try to do. I already know it. So he's snapping out. So another dude that know Unc that he was showing at the photo book to, they pull up. They like, yo, chill. He like, nah, forget that. Nah, forget that, man. I don't know who they think they is. They don't know who they dealing with. Yeah, y'all don't know. Y'all too comfortable on this count. That's y'all problem. Everybody. He started pointing at everybody. He was like, everybody too comfortable on this count. Yeah, that's what it is. Y'all too comfortable on this camp. I don't care nothing about going back to the mountains. Yeah, I did my whole bid in the mountains. I don't care nothing about the mountains. Old school is going bonkers, man. You hear me? I'm just like, people started to look at me like, Weezy, get your roommate. I'm like, yeah, right, I wish I would. This man downstairs going crazy. So he snap all out. He keeps snapping. So everybody like, yo, chill, man. Chill out. So everybody finally, I was like, man, finally, man, I was just like, my homeboy was like, man, go holler at him, man. So I go down the steps, y'all. I walked to the jump. I'm like, hey, look. I said, I walked over there. I said, man, old school, man, let me holler at you. He was like, what? I said, man, chill out, man. He was like, no, Weezy. I said, man, chill out, man. I said, go in the cell right quick. He was like, man, no. I said, man, please, man, old school, go in the cell, please, man. I'm begging you, man. He was like, yeah, y'all already know what's up. Yeah, y'all know what's up. You know what's up, and you know what's up. Them dudes looking at him like, yeah, you know what's up, too. You come over here, you already know you gonna get thrashed. You already know. He's like, oh, ain't nobody gonna thrash. I said, man, go in the cell, old school. This boy, he was like, he went to say, he's like, we stay. I was like, no, man. I said, look, you wildin', man. I said, you out here being too loud for nothing, man. I said, one thing about the mountains, I know they don't do that on the mountains. All that lip boxing you doing, old school. He was like, lip boxing? I said, yeah, all that lip boxing you doing, man. He said, man, look, I ain't doing no lip boxing. I want the wreck. They don't want no wreck. I said, man, look, chill out, man. I said, man, please, man. I said, man, please, I'm gonna go holler at them. I said, chill out, old school, man. He was like, nah. Forget that, man. They acting like they all for me. They ain't gonna give me a fair one. They ain't gonna give me no. I said, man, but you making everything hot. I said, stuff going on in this joint, old school. Everybody was just like, man, what's wrong with Weezy selling, man? I'm like, man, I don't know. He's an old lunatic, y'all. So boom. But I calmed him down, though. I calmed him down. And he still was kind of snapping with me, not really at them. He was snapping with me, saying how he was gonna buck and how this happened, this and happened, this happened. I'm trying to calm the man down. You know what I mean? I'm trying to calm the man down. So I'm just telling him, chill up, just chill, man. So like, he finally calmed down. The man calmed down, man. Like, you know, for somebody that been in the mountains and be that aggressive when it's a situation like just happened, man. Like, you know, usually they be on go mode at all times. But I was able to calm him down, which I was happy, man. I was happy about that. So he chilled out in the cell. So as he was chilling in the cell, my homeboy come knock at the door. So I was like, man, chill out, man. So I stepped out. When I stepped out, it was one of the blue team members standing over here. He was like, hey, Weezy. I was like, what's up? He went over there. He was like, hey, look, man. He said, man, look, I know that's your roommate, but do you rock with him like that? I'm like, why you say that? He was like, cuz, man, like, for real, man, like, he kind of threatened us some crazy stuff, bro. And he was like, you know, them old dudes that been in the mountains, you know, they'll go get a weapon and try to sneak you and everything. He was like, we were gonna come clean them up, but we don't want to mess your cell up and disrespect your cell like that, man. So, like, what you think is good, though? What's up? I was like, nah, bro, y'all chill out, man. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, old school good. I was like, I hollered at him, man, like, you know, he just old, stuck to his way. They were like, yeah, but he tried to threaten us. I'm like, yeah, I understand. He was like, he know he ain't getting no fair one. I was like, I know, bro. He was like, man, but look, he gonna make everything hot. My man, dude was like, look, I got a jack. I didn't even know the young blue team member had a jack. He was like, man, I got a jack. Man, I ain't got time to be getting into it with him. He jeopardizing my phone, doing a bunch of stupid stuff. Man, I ain't got time for that, Weezy, man. I said, I feel that, bro. I said, man, I feel that, man. I said, man, but at the same time, though, bro, please, man, just let it go, man. Just let it go, man. So he was like, man, look, I'm gonna let it go, Weezy, man, but I'm gonna watch him though, man, because he's them old heads tricky, man. They'll try to hurt you, Weezy. I'm like, yeah, bro, I got that under control. Just chill, bro. So he was like, all right. So they try to let it go because they got a situation going on anyway. They got the jack. So I go back in the cell. I tell him, I said, look, man, I holler at the young boys, man. Everything's straight. They just trying to make sure you ain't trying to do nothing to them. He was like, nah, I ain't gonna do nothing, man. Nah, I ain't gonna do nothing, man. It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Tell them everything good. Everything good. I promise y'all, man. Like, everything was all good. But the way old school said it, man, he gave me that low down, crazy, rotten vato type of look, y'all. And I didn't like that, though, y'all. I didn't like that. So, boom. I didn't believe him, man. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I didn't believe him. But for the most part right now, everything is done. Everything is done. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, everybody chill. You know what I mean? Like, for real, like, come on, man. You bringing hot stuff to the cell. Everything crazy, man. What old school got going on? So he chill out. He chill out, man. So like, you know, him and the young boys just didn't go around each other like that no more, man. So like after like a few days, you know what I mean, old school started doing him, you know what I mean. I say on the third day, they call him to the booth, they call him to the office, the council office. He came back in the cell after he left out of there and said they gave him a job. So now he get to clean up a little bit, you know what I mean. He get to clean up a little bit, but it's only been like 4 or 5 days since the incident happened. So you could tell it was tension, but they just ain't going around each other like it was like, you know what I mean. Everybody in the pod know they didn't like each other after that. You know what I mean? So like old school would come out, do his job. So out of nowhere, we was in the cell locked down. And the sergeant came in the jump and was like, yo, I don't know who broke the broom, but whoever got the other half of that broom, I need that broom back, man. I need that broom back, man. Everybody was like, yo, we be getting brooms. Everybody from everywhere in the building behind the broom. They was like, and the broom's always breaking. Now, those long brooms, y'all know, like, not really the long brooms, but the push brooms, not the ones that the dust one, but just the regular push joints. Like, a lot of times, dudes would have those brooms and break them and try to make weapons, or dudes would do this, and a lot of time it won't be nothing about it. But this time, the sergeant came asking about it. But Lawrenceville so bootleg, he came asking about it, and he was like, man, I want it back. I want it back, man. Y'all got a week to give it back. I said a week. Like, I don't know what dude was doing with the jump, but I'm like, yo, I don't got no broom. You know what I mean? I don't know who have a broken broom. I'm not even thinking about what nobody doing with the jump. So ain't nobody say nothing about it. Just how Lawrenceville is. Ain't nobody think about that jump, man. So like 3 days go by. So 3 days go by, man. I promise you, man. I started noticing kind of like when I would leave out the cell after lunch, my roommate would always go in there and say he got to use the bathroom, but like he would have the cut up longer than like 30 minutes. That 30 minutes is like long time to be in the cell with the cut up if you tell your cellar you got to use the bathroom. So I didn't know what he was doing. And then it'll be so loud in the pod. Our air conditioning was acting crazy, so they got the fans blowing in the pod. The big joints, the big industrial joints, like they blowing, so it's loud in that joint. So I never knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? Until one day I really had to use this bathroom, man. And I was like, man, I went to the door. I was like, yo, you straight? He was like, yeah, hold on. I was like, bro, I gotta use this bathroom, man. He was like, all right, hold on. So he took it and cut down. The lady already popped in the door, poosh. So when she popped the door, I walk in the cell. But when I walk in the cell, I almost slip. I'm like, why don't you? I look down. I look at the front of the door, like where the rough area is at, and I see it's like white. You know what I mean? I'm like, what you doing, man? He was like, close the door. I'm like, close the door? He like, yeah, close the door. I was like, man, I gotta use the bathroom. He was like, hold on, man, I'm about to leave, man. I was like, man, shh, close the door, boom. So the cut, you know what I mean? The cut still was up. So I'll turn around. I'm like, man, what's up, man? What you got going on, man? What's this stuff down here? He was like, look, chill out, man. Chill out. That man was like, that man went like under his bed. He was like, man pulled out a junk like this long, man. Like, I don't know how he saw that junk or sharpened that joint that looked like a weapon, man. But that joint like the bat Negan had on Walking Dead, y'all. So boom. Man, like the baby version of that junk, man. I was like, where you get this? I was like, bro, you the one who took the broom. He was like, look, man. I was like, yo, bro, what's that for, bro? What you about to do with that, bro? He was like, man, oh, forget that, man. I ain't gonna let them young boys bank me. Man, yeah, I know how to make a knife quick. Yeah, out of anything. Yeah, that's what the mountains do. Yeah, they talk about the mountains. Yeah, the mountains do that. Teach you how to make a knife out of anything. Yeah, make a knife out of anything. Yeah, look at it. He was like, look. I look. He had two of the razors that you shave, you know what I mean, like stuck on this side, and he had one stuck on the other side, so that way he can swing it either way and it'll slice you, and it was sharp and he can poke you. So I'm like, bro, you wildin', man. I was like, yo, you wildin', man. I was like, man, you wildin' with that joint, man. I said, man, you don't need that for them young boys, man. He was like, nah, I'm gonna use it on him. I'm gonna get the young boy. Yeah, he said, you take the snake head out first, and the rest of the body will fall. I'm like, man, you gonna poke? I said, man, you don't gotta do that, man. That young boy ain't think about you, man. He was like, nah, forget that, man. Nah, forget that, man. Forget that, man. So as he's saying that junk, his homeboy come to the door. Hey, man, Yanni, hey, come on, man, come out, man. You coming out of wet, man. He was like, hey, hold on. I was like, yo, come in, bro. He was like, he coming to jump. He was like, he looked to see Yanni with the knife. He was like, man, what you doing with that junk, man? You the one who took the broom, man. He was like, man, you better get rid of that shit, man. You about to get our whole pod shut down fucking with you, man. You wildin', man. He was like, man, you know what I got, man. He was like, Weezy, look, I don't mean to put this out in front of you. He was like, man, you know I got a phone. I didn't even know that dude had a phone. I told y'all I'm new to the block, y'all. So boom. Everybody got phones. I'm like, man, this dude, wild. He was like, man, look, man, put that joint up, man. So he was like, man, put that joint up, man. I'm telling you, man, put that joint. He was like, man, I ain't putting shit up, man. Yeah, I'm gonna hit that motherfucker as soon as the sweet shit come on tomorrow. Yeah, as soon as the sweet shit come on, I'm gonna hit that motherfucker, man. He was like, hey, who? He was like, I'm gonna hit that young boy. Yeah, fuck them niggas, man. Them niggas in the gang. I don't give a fuck about that shit, man. I'm like, man, this shit crazy, man. So he just went on and went on. I was like, yo, I'm gone. So I dipped. You know what I mean? I didn't even have to use the bathroom no more. I promise y'all, man. I left out the junk. So goddamn, I go to my man selling to the piss. So I mean, I tell my man, I ain't gonna I tell my man, I'm petty, y'all. I'm sorry. I tell my man, I say, yo, bro. I said, man, you ain't gonna believe this shit, bro. You like, what? I said, man, old school that made a damn, the fucking bat that Negan had off Walking Dead. He was like, what? I said, bro, listen, this man got the broom piece in our cell, bro, sharp as a motherfucker with razors on the side. I said, that man trying to tell somebody a new ass. Pause. I said, man, I don't know what the hell he got going on with that. He was like, he the one that, I said, bro, look, I don't know what the fuck he got. He said, what he got it for? I said, man, I don't know, man. I said, man, I ain't want to tell him he got it for the young boy, but I'm pretty sure my man know 1 + 1 equals goddamn blue team member. So I didn't even have to say nothing. So my man like, man, that's crazy, man. I'm like, man, John, wow, man. I'm like, John, wow. So my man was like, yo, just tell her tighten up, bro. Don't do that hot ass shit. Gonna have us on lock. I'm like, no, bro. I'm gonna holler at him at lockdown. You know what I mean? So it was like a little time before we locked down. So when I went back downstairs, I had seen his homeboy coming out the cell. So his homeboy came out the cell just shaking his head. So he was like, Weezy, come to my cell when you get a chance, man. I was like, all right, man. So bro slept upstairs in the little cut up here. So, you know what I mean, by the handicap in the cut to the left. So I go to his cell. You know what I mean? I ain't let my celly see. My celly stay in the cell anyway. I went this way, went in the cell. So I went in bro's cell. He was like, hey, look, Weezy, man. He was like, look, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. He was like, look, that nigga showed me he be hiding that motherfucker at, man. He was like, look, you might gotta take that bitch, Weezy, and hide that motherfucker from him. I said, bro, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing none of that shit, bro. I'm not touching that motherfucking knife. I don't give a fuck what he do with that knife, bro. This penitentiary, if he hit one of them niggas, we just gonna get locked down. I said, I hate to say it like that, bro, but I'm not talking to Maniac out that shit, bro. He was like, man, look, fuck that, man. He gonna make this shit hot, Weezy, man. He gonna make this shit hot, man. He was like, he coming on down here with all this hot ass shit. He said, man, that nigga gonna make this shit stupid, man. He was like, look, bro, if you ain't gonna do it, I ain't gonna do it, bro. I need your permission, bro. I said, my permission for what? He was like, man, let a nigga go in the cell and take the jank, man. He said, nigga ain't gonna steal nothing else, bro. When y'all go to child, nigga go with that bitch and take that bitch, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, who you gonna get to do it? He was like, man, dude, I know one of these dumbass crash houses to do it, man. I was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. You know what I mean? I don't want that shit in the cell anyway. You know what I mean? Like, and for real, like, I felt like I was really saving goddamn the Yanni life. I feel like that's what I was doing, man. I was saving the life with this junk. So he tell me the plan. I'm like, fuck it, do it. So we go to lunch. When we go to lunch and come back, I don't even think my roommate even noticed that the motherfucking junk was gone. You know what I mean? That anybody even went in there. And I say that because as soon as we came back, it was so fucking crazy. The nigga that stole the shit, he know the niggas on the blue team. So the nigga that put him onto the play, he didn't think about if the nigga was gonna tell anybody, man. You know what I mean? The nigga take the knife and tell the niggas on the blue team that the nigga had that motherfucking weapon, the wood shit. The niggas tell him, man. They tell the blue team members. So when my roommate coming back in the pod, the nigga that he got into it with was like, yo, let me holler at you right quick. What's up? You trying to see me? What's good, nigga? What's up? My word, my roommate jet in the cell. My roommate jet in the cell, man. As soon as he jet in the cell, goddamn, the nigga down on his ass. My roommate run down the jump over by his bed, try to go grab the jump. Jump gone, y'all. So boom. My word, they start doing him in that bitch. Boom, 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 boom. Now my shit, I'm like, yo. So after about like a minute of them whooping his ass, man, I went over that bitch, man. I was like, yo, chill, man. I grab him. I break the shit up. You know what I mean? I look Yanni on the ground, fucked up. I'm like, man, them niggas like, man, fuck this nigga, man. This nigga about to get us on lockdown. And this nigga try to do us dirty, man. Fuck this nigga Weezy. I'm like, man, come on, man. Y'all chill out, man. Y'all chill out, man. Y'all chill out. This homeboy came down here that know him, that one that the fucking orchestrated the play. He was like, man, Yanni, you all right, man? Come on, Yanni, man. Come on, Yanni. He was like, that's where he was fucked up. He was like, man, he was looking crazy. Niggas like, man, he gotta get the fuck out of here. He gotta get the fuck out. They start hitting his ass again. Boom, boom. I was like, man, y'all chill out, man. Got between that shit again. Y'all gonna fuck my room up, man. Chill. Niggas got there, man. Weezy, fuck that nigga, man. Get him out here. I was like, yo, man. I said, this shit crazy. Yanni was like, man, where the fuck my knife at? I was like, bro, I don't know where the fuck that shit at, bro. I don't got that big dumbass Ginsu knife. Don't look like I need that shit. He was like, somebody went in our cell. I was like, bro, I don't know nothing about nothing. You know what I mean? I hate to be like that with him, man, but I really didn't know nothing, y'all. So boom. So that nigga was motherfucking enraged, man. His homeboy was trying to talk. He was like, man, come out the cell, man. Come out the cell, man. Come out the cell. That nigga eye leaking. This word, goddamn, that nigga was procrastinating coming out that damn cell. Next thing you know, you're police coming at that bitch. What's going on in here? What's going on in here? They start walking. They come straight down the line. They get to our cell. They look. That nigga in the mirror trying to get down, patch his eye up. They like, what happened to you? He like, I fell. They like, you ain't fall, man. Bring your ass out of here, man. He was like, he put the shirt back on there. He's like, you might as well bring the shirt and keep that shit on your eye. He was like, I was like, man, I just looked at him like, bro, at least you ain't get caught with that fucking knife. You know what I mean? This is my word, man. That nigga got down, left and went to medical. That nigga left and went to medical, man. So like, for real, when he left and went to medical, he stayed back in medical for a minute, but the blue team had a hit on his ass. The blue team had niggas from any building ready for that nigga to land. Man, they put that nigga in the safest spot he can be, man. I don't know how he talked his way into this, and I don't know who did him this favor to do this, but they put the nigga Yanni in 50 building, man. The nigga end up taking the program block, man. The nigga end up taking the freaking 50 building program. That's the therapeutic shit. You only belong in there if you're doing that program in 2 of the blocks. One of the blocks is when people graduate, they put them in an honor pod, which is in that same building. That's the only people that be in that building. Man, we looked up and seen Yanni and that motherfucker, man. Now, niggas can get at him in there, but they'll have to get at him in the 50 building or in the child hall, man. But like, I just think they saw what he did, and they let it go. They let it go, man. He definitely let it go, man. He started fucking really thinking that he wasn't on the fucking mountains, man. He really stopped taking Lawrenceville for granted, man. The man came a model citizen after that damn ass whooping, man. That shit woke his dumb ass up, man. When I used to see him, we just used to speak, and that was it. We never brought up nothing about who took the knife. I could have told him that his homeboy was behind the shit. I got down. I hope he don't see the story. But where his homeboy was the orchestrator, man. No bullshit, man. But he became a model citizen, man. That's how that story went. The blue team never did nothing to him because the man was in the safest place on Lawrenceville. Plus, the blue team didn't really want to do nothing anyway because that nigga was a fucking crash out. They already whooped him, so there wasn't really nothing else to do, y'all. But that was a crazy situation. That's the end of the damn story, though. Man, I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all already know the count, man. Stay out the damn way. And don't forget to turn this video up and hype this video, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. But be safe out there, people, and stay your ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes up.